What's up, guys? This is Mitch with SC Weather. Thanks for tuning in. I got you a little update this afternoon on the tropics. Before we get started, I asked y'all to subscribe. As mentioned many times before, it's an awesome way to support me. I'm trying to grow my platform, and I just appreciate y'all listening. So if you haven't subscribed and you're watching, hit that subscribe button so y'all can stay up to date in weather here in South Carolina, the Southeast. Be awesome. This is the update from the National Hurricane Center. We got Omar out there. We got Nana or Nana, however way you want to say it. No threat to the U.S. at all. Nana is going to be heading into the Yucatan Peninsula, giving them a lot of heavy rain. But we do have two areas to watch in the far eastern area of the Atlantic that needs to be watched in the next 5 days or so for development. So check it out. We got the GFF. We got the ensembles, the GEFS here, and what we have here is we have a trough, and this is for Thursday. We have really a trough developing, and there's so much different than the European model, guys. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. You got high pressure up north. Anything that tracks in that favorable area where the arrow is, it's going to have to take that route that the arrow is showing. There's a trough building. A trough is a cold front. Cold front is a complete directional, how do you put this? It basically is going to tell a tropical system where to go. It cannot plow into a trough. So what you have here is you have this little area where it can go. The high pressure is forcing it into the route where the circled area is, in the underlined area or the lined area. You have the trough. So, and this is not where systems are going to form. I'm not saying this, and this is for next Saturday. But this is where they potentially could form. And if they form in the Gulf, it could not go into Texas because you got the trough setting up. It would have to go into the Carolinas, into the Southeast. It could form into the more eastern Atlantic, the tropical Atlantic, and it could be an East Coast rider. So I'm putting these scenarios on the table because you have high pressure, so they can't go out to sea really. So with this kind of setup, it is a threat for the Southeast if the trough cannot clear the eastern seaboard. If it can't clear the eastern seaboard, it still leaves the Southeast, like the Carolinas, Florida, Georgia, things like that, vulnerable to tropical systems. And then we're getting way far out now. This is September 14th. So it's just showing, and once the trough's gone, it leaves even more of the Southeast open as you got high pressure on top, keeping the systems from not going out to sea and going right into the Caribbean, right into an area. Here we got the European, totally different scenario, kind of in a way. There is no trough. That's where the X is. There's no cold front sweeping through the U.S. for late next week. So it's weird. You got two areas to watch. High pressure up north. It's positioned a little differently, but it's still there. And you have some development starting to form. The circle areas is developed. The one to the left, and by the way, the next name would be Paulette. That's the P name. You have more of a dominant system beginning to take over here. And where does it go? It kind of meanders in the same area, and this is for Tuesday, September 8th, if it's taken, serious here. And this far out, it's not. So this is scenarios. And this is the European model for people who don't know. I think I mentioned that already. But you got that high pressure way up there. But from what I'm about to show you with the heights, there may be another high pressure centered over the Southeast that may make any system that forms off the European model go out to sea or split between two high pressures, two ridges. And as you can tell here, this is for Wednesday, September 9th. It's showing that exact thing. So where does this system go? Is it strong enough to kind of plow into a weaker ridge here? Stronger storms kind of have more of a pull on the directional on where they go. So it kind of gets stuck in between two here. It doesn't have much movement to it because it's stuck, so there's no real good steering currents to really move it. So a few days here, it would show what would be Paulette maybe way down the road, kind of getting stuck. So where does it go? It's jammed up between two weaker high pressures, two ridges, and there's a trough set up way over the central U.S. So this is just a scenario. I'm showing this because I do think the tropics are going to heat up, and here's the European ensemble showing just that. It shows two areas to kind of watch, two areas of clustered low pressures, if you will, and this will start to become something to talk about next Monday as we start to get more systems really starting to develop off off the northern coast of Africa that really have more potential than the ones that they do now. And one will become the dominant storm as the ensembles is showing, if this was to happen. And we get more deeper into the frame here. And after that, it's who knows. But I can tell you, it's pretty close to the operational run of the European model. So, long story short, we just need to watch this. We need to watch. We're kind of in a quiet period, thankfully, because we just had a major hurricane hit the U.S. last week. So we're kind of in a quiet period right now. But I do think mid-month, things in the tropics are really going to start to pick up again. And I think with the way some patterns are setting up here and where some troughs are sitting up, some cold fronts, southeast may be the next area of the U.S. that's in line to get hit. This is shear. I've talked about this in other videos before this. There definitely would be some favorable conditions for the most part. There will be some strong shear on top of the storms that may kind of tamper it a little bit, but there's no really good directional flow. So we're going to just watch this. There's not much point in talking deep into this right now because the storms hadn't even formed. But it's just one of the factors that could limit development and potential Paulette or whatever may form. So that's about it. One last thing here is the Saharan dust that I talked about 2 videos ago on the tropical update here. It is definitely going to tamper down, and this is for way out. This is for 240 hours out, so September 12th time frame when we expect things to start to pick up. There's not a lot of dry air. There's not a lot of Saharan dust. There's a little bit, but it's in an area that doesn't really matter. So that's a big factor too that's going to help these storms really develop. But that's all I got, guys. Y'all have an awesome night, and thank y'all for watching.